software installation. I think this is the easiest thing in today's time, because everyone knows how to install a software, how to download an app from Apple Store or from the Google Play Store or the Chrome Store or the Microsoft Store and that kind of things. At least we have heard one of them or all of them in most of the cases. So it's the software installation. They give you a guide, and that guide is going to help you to install the software in your machine. So what it actually do? It first check the configuration or ask for system requirement. Like if I try to download the rocket science software in my simple computer, it will not going to work, even though I install that. In most of the cases, I believe it will not work. Why? Because my system requirements do not fulfill that high classification, that high storage, that high RAM, that high things. You understand that it's complicated. It requires more sophisticated hardware. It requires more managed software. It requires a combination of all that things. So I can run a simple simulation, but I cannot run it in the full-fledged way. So it asks for the system requirement. If it passed, the system requirement is there, it will ask you which version you are using, 32-bit, you are going to store with the 32-bit, 64-bit. That actually is the speed at which that software can install in your system. And then our system check for sometimes the security as an operating system, by default security or firewall checks for that, and then it got installed. Well, I have missed in this the section of terms and conditions. Honestly, I never read that, so I do not know about you, but I never read that. I understand that what they mean to say, I already have the idea, but hardly, I think in most of the cases anyone reads that, right? Well, as an engineer, it's a little weird to say I should read that, but most of the people don't read that. You must have feel that it's so long, who is going to read that out? It should be in summary, right, in 5 or 6 pages at least. Even in that case, I am agreed to read upon, but if it is hundreds of pages, unless it's so important for me, I'm not going to read that out. That's why sometimes we even agree and ticks on the selling data feature, and companies sell our data. Well, we should care about that. So that's a software installation. It's for the different purposes, different types, different kinds, and different uses. I told you the rocket science thing, but it can be as simple as installing the spreadsheet or MS Excel, Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet. It can be Word, it can be Paint, it can be anything, any software that we used to have in our day-to-day life. So let's proceed to our last topic in this class, that is data backup. We already had a tour about the data backup and recovery. So why I chose to keep it here, data backup? Because this should be in your mind. It's very important to keep a backup of the data, because if you do not keep the backup of the data, you must remember my story. Once upon a time, when I started teaching online, I shot my one course, and that one course that I shot fully was around 15 hours of long hard work. Surely it was raw footage, so I have to edit and all that, and we're going to get reduced to 8 or 10 hours, I guess. So this was its original length. I worked hard on it for a week. I created that notes and all that kind of thing. I was not that experienced that I can write the data backup and tell you about all the things. Now I have experience, now I have taught so many people, so it's easy. It's like I can tell you at any point of the time, any point of the day, whenever you are going to ask me, I just start like that. I can start with a chair, table, anything. I can start with any example, but when you begin, it's not like that. So what actually happened was so sad for me at that particular point of the time, because my system got corrupted. I do not know exactly the reason, even though I have some guesses. One of the guesses, I installed a software which was not secure and I allowed it. My antivirus said that it might be harmful, but I said, okay, let it come, what can we do? And I have not taken any backup of my course. So what actually happened? I had to change my operating system, and I was not able at the time to recover my file, and it got destroyed. So 15-hour course, 1 week of intensified hard work, and it's just gone. Believe me, no matter that course was good or bad or something, but it hurts like so much pain bearing thing, so much pain. So that's why the data backup is very important. Now you will never forget to keep your backup of data all the time. If you have not kept any backup, go and keep that backup right now. Don't miss that out. I will tell you a few of the secrets that I use as a data backup over the internet for free. It's legal, right? And I'm not talking about the Google Drive that gives you the space and you are able to make 1 or 2 or 5 IDs, or using 1 or 2 or 5 IDs and we are using that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the videos, the lengthy videos. I'm talking about the text file. I'm talking about the images. And yes, they are so much secure, because if they are not secure, the big companies get in the question. So it technically not get leaked. At least I trust that. Okay, so that's the thing. So creating a copy of data, creating a copy of the original data is in the system, so that you can recover it later in case of any kind of the corruption or corrupted file or any kind of damage to the file. You have your original file with yourself. That will going to be very, very helpful, and that is what is meant with the data backup. I told you my story. Data backup is very important. Go and always keep your important data as your backup. Not just print it out if it can be possible, or use the cloud storage. That's why the cloud storage actually got famous in our time, because they keep the backup of all the data all the time. I'm not promoting the cloud backup because it is reducing our ability to keep our data to ourselves. We are actually trusting a system that can keep multiple copies of our data. They are highly secure, I agree, but as an engineer, my mind always used to say my data is somewhere else. So it's like keeping your money in the bank. You are trusting the bank, but sometimes do not trust it that much, right? So this is the case. Okay, with this we can wrap up our story of this section, and I really hope that you have enjoyed this section so much. This section was the foundation for the entire course, entire things that we are going to learn throughout this course, and you have a solid base for most of the things that a computer science engineer must and should know. So you can have a sip of water just like me. Okay, you cannot see me, I have not opened my camera yet. I'm not the camera shy, but I want you to focus on the screen and not on me. Okay, so we have covered this up. So congratulations, my dear friend, my dear super engineer. And now what we are going to learn is the massive amount of electronics why the electronics? You are going to learn the computer science, right? You enrolled for the computer science, and I'm telling you that you are going to learn the engineers. Remember that Moody School of Electrical Engineers? Let me show you that if I can pick that up right here. It's the same presentation, so I think I can keep that up here. Okay, just a moment, coming. Okay, here we are. ENIAC, Electronic Numeral Integrator and Computer. So what's here? Here is what I meant to tell you. Electrical engineering, right? Women, but the important one is programmers. No matter how old it is, but what do you think? If the basis itself is the electrical engineering for the programmers, you must know the concept of the applied electrical engineering for the programmers. I'm not making you an electrical engineer, I'm going to make you a computer science engineer, but computer science engineer is one of the most sophisticated engineers on the planet. Well, I dare to say that because I'm a computer science engineer myself. Don't get offended if you are another engineer. I respect you very much equally by my heart. If I were not a computer science engineer, I must be an electrical engineer or electronics engineer, I guess. So it's the programmers who understand the electrical engineering or the concepts of the circuits and architecture, the digital logic and all that kind of things. You have to program up the things, but you will understand the system. Once you understand the system, you can manipulate the system, you can create the system, you can develop the system in more deeper way, and this is what will never going to change. And I dare to say that the programming language can be developed, can be skilled. Those things are skills are according to the market. They can keep on changing, like the AI, machine learning are these days trend, deep learning are these day trends. Future is quantum mechanics. The past was smartphones, Android and all that kind of things. They are still relevant, very much relevant, but everything goes through a cycle of understanding through the circuits, architecture, electricity, programming, logic. All these things goes hand in hand. So to have a solid foundation, so that no matter if you are taking this course in 2050, I dare to say that if you are going to take this course in 2050, still what we are learning is going to be very, very much relevant. Why I'm saying that? Because these things, the transistors, are the fundamental for the integrated circuits. If you know everything about the transistors, understanding the integrated circuits becomes easier. If you understand the semiconductors, you know the essence of what can a digital logic be look like. You go through a process of science to the engineering, that is computer science engineering. This is the reason I have not named this course computer engineering or applied engineering or computer engineering or computer science. I named it computer science engineering. You are understanding the science and building the engineering concepts on that basis. So the science is not going to change. I bet you on that, because this science is based upon the logic, mathematics. You can develop over that, you can have a strong foundation with these things, and this never get irrelevant. So I dare to say that it will never going to get irrelevant on its complete aspect. You will always find so much things in this one to develop your advanced concepts. I think I made my point clear that why it's important to have the knowledge of what we need to learn. All that said, we are wrapping up for this section, and I'm very happy that you are staying in all these classes. Thank you to stay with me, and see you in the next section. Take care, God bless, keep smiling, keep learning, and stay curious.